Hey everyone, I'm doing another love and relationship reading, and something I was thinking about while I was getting ready to hit record was that it's love and relationship. So relationship means like we have a relationship to basically everything in our life, to ourselves, to any person, friend, family, coworker, even a relationship to our job, to our past. So I just want you to keep that in mind, because things may come up more so about other things rather than a love relationship, but it's going to tie into, well, how you do one thing is how you do all things. So if one way of being is showing up in one relationship and it's picking up on a specific scenario, such as a job or with yourself or with a family member or a friend or something, just know that those messages can still apply to what you need to do when it comes to your love relationship as well. So say you're showing up one way with somebody. If you have a relationship, maybe you are showing up that way. You may shift in any way that you shift within yourself is going to affect any relationship, basically. So that means if you don't have a relationship, any shift you make within yourself, again, is going to help you bring in that type of relationship that you are hoping to bring in. So I'm going to start with these are my Black Moon Astrology cards. Let's see what is coming into play with astrology right now. So we just came out of the full moon eclipse, the full lunar eclipse in Sagittarius, which is also the blood moon and the flower moon and all kinds of other stuff. I had some really weird dreams last night. I woke up to having to Google and look and pull cards on what the symbolism in them meant. So I know there's stuff happening. It was a really good time to release. Wow, these cards do not want to, maybe they're waiting for me to be done talking. So it was a really intense energy, depending on, I guess, if you feel it, if you believe in that, and what you're allowing yourself to feel. It was a good time for releasing stuff. Here, finally. Oh, there we go. 2. Oh, 3. The sun, which represents spirit. I was just talking about the sun today in my Instagram post, actually. And the moon. Ooh, and soul. The sun and the moon reunite. And the air element communicating. Wow. So the sun represents masculine energy. The moon represents feminine energy. They are the opposites, right? And again, it was a lunar eclipse. Sorry, my cat likes to jump up and surprise me. Go ahead, Cheeto. Go up on your little shelf. Okay. And then the air element communicating. So right away, if we're talking about love and relationships, I feel like it's time for some communication to happen, whether that's within yourself, right? Your masculine, feminine energies. See all the cat hair flying around? This is my life. The masculine, feminine energies, it's like it could represent you working together, communicating within yourself in order to like work better together or thrive in some way. Or, it could mean a masculine energy, a feminine energy, spirit and soul coming together in some way when it comes to communication. I want to get these are my Keepers of the Light oracle. Let's see who's here with us. Holy Amethyst, Divine Alchemy. Yeah. So, and then Life Force, which is the sun energy. I was just referring to so I create posts on Instagram about that center around my femstral cycle. So I post a picture and I talk about, the energy that I experience when it comes to each phase of my cycle. And today I posted about ovulation. And ovulation is obviously like when we're most fertile. It's when we attract a lot of things, because we're biologically we're supposed to, because right when we're ovulating, our body's telling us, oh, it's time to procreate, right? Like, come and plant your seed in my egg. So you're going to naturally attract energies towards you because that's the energy you're giving out, biologically. And, what was I going to say? Oh, so I was talking about how that's our natural life force energy that we're tapping into during ovulation. We're magnetic, we're captivating. I even referred to it as, like, it's known as the inner summer. Like, it's, if we're looking at the phases, or the seasons, each of our phases represents a season. So ovulation is our inner summer. And during summer, I was saying, it's like the sun energy, our life force energy, where everyone wants to be outside in the sun. Oh my God, Cheeto, hold on. Cheeto wants to be involved. You can't sit on my cards, buddy. I'm sorry, not right now. He was just laying up on my desk before we started, so he's not happy that I moved him. Sorry, dude. You can't be on my cards either. No. Nope. No, not gonna happen. I'm sorry. Cats are so sensitive. Like, he gets really mad when I tell him no, or I try to, when I move him from places he wants to be. I'm sorry, buddy. I love you. Okay? But you can't be up here right now. See? Sun energy, it attracts, right? Everyone is like, oh my God, the sun, like, it literally attracts things. It's like moth to a flame kind of energy. So what I was saying was I was comparing our life force energy to the sun, saying it's like during summer, everyone wants to be outside and they can't get enough of the sun during summer because it feels so good. And, especially coming out of winter and then spring, which is still kind of gloomy and rainy sometimes, depending on where you are. I'm in California, Southern California, so not necessarily full seasons here. But for the most part, summer, the sun is out most of the time, the majority of the time, and it's hot and people are attracted to it. They just want to be outside. I don't remember how I got off on that tangent to comparing the life force energy, our life force energy during ovulation as women to the sun. Oh my God, Cheeto, I swear to God. See, this is what it's like. Even if you don't want, and I even said this in my post, even if you don't want things to be here, is to be attracted to you. Look at your dandruff. Cheeto, you can't be up here right now. Think you're still going to attract things to you. Come on, buddy. You can't be up here, okay? Maybe you can sit on my lap. Will that work? I just don't want hair all over me. Okay. Alrighty. So I think the reason I was bringing this up, because this said life force. Sir Nonos came out and it said life force. And I was, I definitely think of the sun energy as our life force energy. It's light, right? It's like our light is our life force energy, our spirit. But again, and I love that this card came out too, because we're talking about sun and moon, masculine, feminine, coming together within some kind of communication, right? This is talking about sexual desires. Express your driving passion, sensual and sexual powers are increased. Well, sexual powers. And again, during ovulation, like, this is all tying in today. This energy is showing up today, at least for me. He's looking at me like, what? Oh, my little kitty cat. Okay. So this is really big energy, passion, a coming together of sexual polarity, which is masculine, feminine. So it doesn't matter if you're a female or a male, right? How you identify, it's energy. So I can be a woman and have a very masculine energy, and vice versa, right? A man can have a very feminine energy, or I can be a woman and have very feminine energy, right? So it doesn't really matter, like, it's just energy. So and then we have Divine Alchemy, Holy Amethyst. What's funny that these cards came out together too, because Amethyst, to me, one of the main purposes of Amethyst is actually to curb addictions. And it's funny that came out with the life force energy, which is like getting turned on, or sexual powers can be very addicting. It obviously, like, we can become addicted to anything, but pleasure, and it's basically anything that gives us pleasure. So it's like some people have drugs and alcohol, food, sex. Obviously, that's a very clear way that we're getting pleasure, but there can be a lot of different things that we use for pleasure. I feel like that's really what it represents, like something that makes us feel good, even if it's not the best for us. So it's really funny to me that these came out together, because I feel like there's this, like it says, divine alchemy, move beyond current challenges, focus on what you desire. So it's about learning how to channel your desires, your sensual sexual powers, without it becoming so addictive, or you're going into that shadow aspect that is actually, like I said, it's coming from a shadow. Instead of coming from a shadow place, it's coming from a more grounded, clear place. Like, it is okay to have desires, and it's like accepting that, right? Where everyone's going to have desires. It depends on I guess maybe how you go about getting these desires fulfilled, you know, and also looking at, how does this benefit everybody as well, right? Like, is it just self-serving? Am I doing anything basically to get these desires met just so it serves these needs, my ego or my shadow or my wounds, whatever? Where is it coming from, basically? Or is it coming from a place of, I know that if I fulfill these desires because I'm meant to, because it's a part of my divine purpose and my divine path, that everyone will benefit, because I will heal myself. And then in turn, when we heal ourselves, we help heal the collective, and then we can teach and support other people in that same type of healing. So it's really looking at where you're coming from, but I really feel divine union here happening. And it looks like physically some kind of communication is going to happen. Could be like just within yourself, right? Like, it could be an actual person communicating with you, or you communicating with somebody. And oh gosh, if I'm getting really literal with it, because I kind of just spoke to the energetics of it. A literal message could be someone coming to you and communicating like, I'm really attracted to you. Something to that effect. You could be very attractive at this moment in time, or just that passionate energy is coming up with this eclipse. But it's not coming from a place of like shadow, like I said, or obsession or control. It's really coming from a place of my masculine or my feminine energy is extremely attracted to your masculine or your feminine energy, whichever one you have. And it's creating that polarity, which is sexual desires, magnetic attraction. And it's almost like, if I'm looking at this holy amethyst card and reading, focus on what you desire, move beyond current challenges, it's almost seeing how, like, some people could have avoided this because they're like, oh no, this isn't good for me, because of that fear of tapping into the shadow of obsession or desire or pleasure and having it kind of take over your life. But this is stepping into the more empowered, conscious, mindful energy, where you're saying, okay, I see how it actually is going to serve me if I connect with this person and we have this sexual connection, the sexual compatibility, or just the polarity of us being together and having our energies kind of combine in some way. Doesn't necessarily have to mean sex right away, but obviously I feel like that is there, but it's more so like, I just want to be in union with you. It's like about divine union and learning how to alchemize. Like, alchemy is putting two elements together and to create a third, but in order to create a brand new element, but it's creating balance. And balance doesn't mean 50-50. Balance means like however much of this that you need and however much of this that you need, that then creates a new thing that creates its own balance. It's like literally like what happens when sperm meets an egg and you create a baby. That's kind of the literal thing. Like, if we're looking at how it reflects in us physically, that is what I'm seeing as divine alchemy happening. So it could be someone saying to you, like, I want you to have my babies, or I want to have your babies. But really it's so much deeper than just, I want to have a family with you, or I want to like create children with you. It's like, I just want to create in general with you. I want us to come together and see what our combined energies can create in our lives, whether that's a family, physically a family, a home, a business, or just like what our love brings to the world, whether that's just inspiring people around us, or, whatever it is we're meant to do with each other. I feel like that's a really big message here. And they're telling me to move on now. So, whoo, getting hot over her. All right, I'm going to go into the Lover's path. Oh, and look at that, the 10 of Cups. When I cut the deck. The 10 of Cups is emotional fulfillment. It's happiness. It's bliss. It's having everything that you want, basically. Because 10s represent a completion, a culmination. And so it's achieving those things, endings and beginnings. So for something needed to end, which the full moon eclipse supported us with, right? It was a really good time to release things. And then you have beginnings, which is, I mean, anything is possible, really. Like, because, yeah, anything is possible. So that's really this energy that's present is if you really took the time to release what you needed to release, or, oh my God, you'll never guess what came out. I mean, can you guess? Can you guess? It's love, or the lovers in the tarot. And it's Isis and Osiris. Okay, and Isis and Osiris are like, to me, the first, even before Jesus and Mary, the epitome of masculine, feminine, sexual polarity, and just like union in general when it comes to someone you're meant to spend your life with. Be like ultimate life partner, someone you've had many past lives with. Because she, like, the story is of he died. I don't remember how he died. She goes basically to the underworld to bring him back, and even I know there's one story of like he was dismembered and she went across the world and picked up all of his body parts and came and put him back together, because he was her only love. But the Lovers card in the tarot is about a choice, but it is about choosing that your counterpart, your love counterpart, your sexual counterpart, that polarity, which is the magnetic attraction. That's why we have both masculine, feminine energies, positive and negative. The masculine is positive, the feminine is negative, not in like the terms we usually think. It's just when you're thinking about like a battery or, a charge, that's what them coming together creates. Obviously it creates what? A spark, life. Hello. When they come together, they create a baby, which is new life. So it's about sexual polarity. Like, this is the only person for me, basically. Like, this is the only person that I feel this way with. Like, they are everything. Friendship, passion, love. They feel like home. They feel like my family. I can be myself with them. It's literally everything that you would want in a partnership. I almost don't even want to pull any other cards. 8 of Wands. Yeah, so I want to keep going into the Lovers, though. This is an intense energy, guys. Ladies and gents. And they... I want to be inclusive. I'm not laughing at that. I just was like, if I say ladies and gents, am I not being inclusive to everybody? Anyways, so the Lovers is also about a choice. Like, we can choose. Cheeto is very active today. We can choose this type of relationship, because this is the type of relationship of, like, we're talking about what I've already talked about, is going to push you into growth, expansion, evolution. And it's because of the relationship, because of this person and you coming together. It's not your typical soulmate relationship. Soulmates, we have a bunch of them. They can be non-romantic and non-sexual as well. But it's a choice, because it's not going to be easy. God, Cheeto. Come on, buddy. You can't. Look, you cannot. Just sit on my lap, okay? Ay. Oh. I feel like this is what's happening right now, is like how it's going to feel. You're going to feel like this is so weird and chaotic. And like, normally Cheeto doesn't do this when I'm like, he does do it when I'm not filming, or if I'm not on a, there's only certain times he'll try to get in my face when, or like, not get in my face, but be doing what I'm doing. And it's not often, like off camera, or if I'm not at a meeting or like, whatever, recording or something, he's not doing it, as often. So the energy is just like, it's very magnetic. I feel like you're going to notice that even people that aren't your person coming forward and being like, hey, want to get, want to go do the dirty or whatever. So, and it's all in how you handle it, right? Again, we're going back to choices. I don't know why I keep pulling cards. Whew, okay. But I'll put these to the side for a second. Choices. We have choices because this type of relationship is meant to push you into union with another person and within yourself. Which honestly, a lot of people may not be able to handle, which is why we sometimes settle in comfortable relationships that we know are not going to push us to grow because the person's not at the same level as us. Like, I feel like it is extremely scary to actually meet your equal and you're like, wow, I'm actually looking at the person who's like basically the opposite of me. Doesn't mean you experience the exact same things in life, but your energy is just like you're on the same vibration, you're on the same level, and you want the same things in life. I feel like that's what it represents. That is extremely scary, especially if you've come from being hurt in the past, whether that's childhood or just relationships, past relationships in general. It can be very scary to meet that person and be like, okay, if I like, for one, because they're going to push you, but you're also like, well, they could completely break me as well. They could break my heart. There's that fear of getting hurt again because that you can only be yourself with this person. You can't pretend. And that's what's scary is you have to kind of open it. You're like, this person can see right through me. They know exactly who I am because they are exactly what I feel inside. Right? And vice versa. Not saying you're like the same person, but it's just, like I said, there's that resonance that is like, you're on that same level. You're in the same vibration. If you're tuning into the same radio station, you're there at that level with another person. And that can sometimes be very scary. So it's a choice. And I think it is also warning us to make sure that we are not running away from fear if this does show up for us, because it looks like it's going to come in quickly. Like, I think this card came out with the other reading I just did. The Eight of Wands is about the arrows of love. Eights are about manifestation, things happening very quickly. This is literally about like very fast movement forward. And then there's a bunch of birds on here, and birds represent communication. So again, and we have the communication card. So there's some kind of communication that's going to come in fast and freaking cat hair all over me. Wands or staves, it says staves, but it's wands represent the element of fire, and that's passion. And it's almost like I feel like this energy is going to come in very, very quickly, and it's going to be passionate, like almost too intense. Like whoever's receiving the communication is going to be like, whoa, whew, I wasn't expecting that, right? And then we have innocence, which is the Fool. This is about taking a leap of faith and needing to basically throw all caution to the wind and be like, okay, I'm just going to say yes, even though I have no idea what is going to happen. Oh, I have these two cards. That's honestly that's the energy that's going to be coming at you. And I think that's the advice is like, when this is presented to you, even though it may seem very intense and you're like, I wasn't expecting that to happen, honestly. Or maybe, and it's funny because sometimes like we even do expect it. We're like, oh, I think this is coming. But then we all are like, well, it's probably not, right? It's like, we're just going on our merry way. Like nothing's happening for a really long time. And all of a sudden you're like, get smacked in the face with this person telling you they love you and they want you to have their babies and things like that, right? Like, and you're just like stunned, like literally you get smacked in the face and you're like, what the fuck what did you just hit me with? But that's like their energy is going to be coming in so intense, and I just don't think it's going to be expected. And so the Fool energy is that leap of faith of like, just say yes. Like, what do you have to lose? Especially if this is something you've been wanting. Like if you've been calling this in, I almost feel like there's this like, you've been calling it in, yet a part of you didn't necessarily believe it was actually going to show up. And it got to the point where it took so much longer than you thought it was going to, that you did forget about it, or you were like, this isn't going to happen. Like, I'm going to be single forever, or, you know, I'm never going to meet the right person for me, that kind of energy. Never say never. And especially if we have this ovulation energy happening, like, you are going to be so magnetic, so captivating that, like, again, you're going to be attracting all kinds of different people and energies, and the one that's for you, the one that you want is going to show up. So be ready for it, like, be open to it, and just know that the advice that's coming here is to just say yes, to just jump forward, because you, honestly, like, there is no, like, there's no time to be thinking about, could this hurt me? You know, things like that. Like, don't even go into that. It's like, they're not even allowing me to communicate any of those messages, because they're just like, just say yes. Okay. Because we have the 8 of coins, another 8, which is about manifestation. It's also the infinity symbol. So, you know, infinity is like seeing how everything is connected. At least I see that, like, everything is connected. And the 8 of coins is about working hard at something. And it's pentacles or coins, which literally represents money, obviously, career. And then we have the King of Staves or the King of Wands, which he is the passionate, creative, very intense king. Like, that's how he's going to show up. And I get that the 8 of coins means he's been working at something, or he's been more focused on, you know, remember how I just said, like, oh, you didn't think it was going to show up? Like, he's been more focused on his work and creating this stability, or manifesting in monetarily when it comes to money and career and whatever. If he's wanted to buy a house, or, you know, he has a business and he's trying to grow that, or get a new job, or whatever it is, he's been working on that. And that's why it hasn't happened yet. And this could also represent an aspect of you if you're a woman watching this, in terms of the masculine energy within you has also, because you're going to mirror each other. So your masculine energy has also been doing this. Like, maybe work has been a focus for you, or developing stability for yourself has also been what you've been focusing on. And that's why both of you needed to do that. Wisdom, the High Priestess, and the King of Cups is on the bottom. Yeah. It's funny that I don't see any queens out. The High Priestess is technically, though, the feminine energy, the wisdom. She's hidden knowledge. She's basically tapped in spiritually. She's got that connection to the knowledge of spirituality and the divine. Well, what I get is, because there's 2 kings, I feel like the masculine energy needed to work on these 2 aspects of himself, because then we had the King of Cups. But the King of Cups is also feeling something very deeply and not sharing it. And again, this is also secret wisdom, right? Like, secret knowledge. So there is this element of, like, not sharing something. Something hasn't been shared. Things have been kept to themselves, especially if it's the King of Cups. It's like how he feels. She hasn't shared. Oh, okay. So remember how I just said that maybe you knew this was coming, and you, like, but then you kind of were like, no, that must not be true because it hasn't shown up yet. I feel like both of these people knew. And so, like, she knew because of a spiritual sense. She's very intuitive. She's probably a very spiritual person, the feminine energy. So she knew, right? So she already had this hidden knowledge, and then he had all these deep feelings, and she was picking up on that, and she knew about it. But he just wasn't sharing it. And she obviously wasn't sharing it because, to be completely honest, when you know things coming from a spiritual sense, you're not, like, you get guided on what to share and what not to share. And then sometimes you like, as practice, you know, you share things with people who you're like, hey, I think I feel this, you know, is this that energy? Am I, you know, and you kind of check in with people, like, am I correct about that? And if they aren't as in tune, or they're not willing to admit that, then they're going to tell you no. And then you're going to be like, well, fuck, I guess I was wrong. Right. So that energy, I feel like, is playing out. Illusion. Yeah. See, the moon illusion. This is about intuition. It's about our shadows. Oh, fuck. Ow. It's about our shadows. It is about feminine energy again, but we have the moon 2 times. So I feel like the feminine energy, because remember we started with the moon. Oh God, that hurt my elbow. I feel like the feminine energy has known about this for a long time, or has picked up on it. I don't want to say a long time, just however long, has picked up on it, yet has told herself it's not necessarily true, or she talked herself out of it because either she got a reflection back from this person, or this person was never showing up or never talking to her, never shared anything, and she was kind of expecting it to happen, or he's been so in his own world, the masculine energy, that she kind of just let it go and was like, well, I guess that's not true. He must not like me at all. Like, you know, things like that. Awakening. But yeah, no, and it's Cupid and Psyche. Awakening is it the Tower? Let me check on this one. I can sometimes don't remember the numbers correctly. No, the Sun. Oh, it's the Sun. Cupid and Psyche. Okay, so I want to read this story. Venus was jealous of Psyche's outstanding beauty. She instructed her son Cupid to pierce Psyche with his arrow so she would foolishly love the first creature she saw. But Cupid loved Psyche. He rescued her and secretly took her as his bride. Psyche burned Cupid by accident when she tried to see him by lamplight, and the angered god flew away. Venus put forth many trials to Psyche when she pleaded for her forgiveness. Cupid and Psyche were soon rejoined, awakened to the preciousness of their love by its testing. So it represents an emotional awakening and expansive, life-affirming energy that brings opportunities and optimism, love and sexuality, creativity and procreation, relationships with children. Maybe you're meant to have a child with this person. I feel like that's obviously what the sexual polarity it creates. So you're obviously meant to bring a child into the world with this person. I think, you know, if this doesn't resonate for you, if you know you're not going to have any more children, then don't take that part. Like, this is a general reading, so it's not going to resonate with everyone, and you just take what resonates for you from it. You know, what I got though from that was that, you see how like he actually loved her, Psyche, but then she accidentally hurt him. I feel like there's this energy of fear that maybe she did or said something that hurt his feelings, and maybe they knew each other, or he overheard something. I feel like there's this energy of like a miscommunication to where his feelings got hurt by her somehow. And then kind of having an awakening, realizing like, you know, that's just my fear. That's like, or, you know, I got to own that, or like some healing needed to happen, or, you know, the Sun is the happiest card in the deck, in the entire deck. And like, oh my God. And look, the Sun, oh my God. Okay. You guys, I'm fucking blown away right now. So we have the Sun and the Moon come out first, right? Okay. And then the Moon, and then the Sun. Like, I literally just got that because they're not called the Sun and the Moon in this deck, but what the fuck? Okay. So the Sun and the Moon coming together had literally the lunar eclipse. I'm just like, wow. Okay. I know I see why I need to do this reading. So sorry. I'm like, I didn't want this reading to go this long either. I'm frazzled. Something big is coming out of this eclipse. Like, you want to talk about how, sorry, a bunch of hair. You want to talk about how the Mother Nature, right? And what happens in the sky and in nature reflects us and our internal worlds, and like how it affects us is like literally this reading, like the Sun and the Moon coming together. And what if we're talking about like, what does the Sun represent? Masculine energy. What does the Moon represent? Feminine energy. What does that what happens when masculine, feminine energy like equal parts, you know, equal vibrations come together, that's like considered sexual polarity. What happens? Spontaneous creation, passion, sexual desire. Well, sexual desire and passion comes first and then spontaneous creation. But you get what I'm saying. Like, literally, like, you can't make this shit up. Okay, 2 more cards and then I'm gonna be done with this because I'm just like blown away at this in an amazing way. I'm kind of scared for myself. Oh boy. Oh, this one? Okay. So we have choose a new direction and recovery. Interesting energy. Let's read it. Oh, my cat hair everywhere. The time has come to choose a new direction for your life. The circumstances that you find yourself living in may seem unfulfilling, or perhaps your heart is full of discontent. You know that there is something more out in the world for you, and you've been procrastinating, following the guidance of your angels. Make a conscious choice to be the person you were meant to be. Create an action plan for yourself that leads you in the direction of your divine life purpose. Begin taking steps immediately toward a happier future. I honestly feel like this is like the thing we need to let go of. Like, there's something that needs to be let go of, and that's what the eclipse represented, that's keeping you from having this. And I honestly feel like it's a belief that you can have it, that it is going to show up. And I feel like this reading is kind of confirmation for, like, if anything that, like, that I said resonated with you and you've been feeling these things in your own life and, like, with the person, the type of person you're supposed to be, it's like you haven't been focusing on that and you need to shift directions. Oh boy, I feel like I'm getting fucking schooled right now. My own. Okay, recovery. This is a period of recovery and healing for you. The challenging emotions that you've been dealing with will fade away with time. Although it may be difficult to see now, there is a joyful future awaiting you. But for now, take all the time you need to regain your strength. This card can also mean that your recovery is nearly finished or already complete. Send words of gratitude to heaven and begin planning for the next exciting phase of your life. Yeah, what I really get is that you don't, like, choosing a new direction and recovery coming out together is you already did your healing. Like, it even said, like, your healing is complete. Like, you went through this period of healing when it comes to relationships, or you're finishing it up. I don't feel like there is more for you to do. It's like you're ready to choose a new direction because of it. So stop living in the past, or stop telling yourself you're not ready. Stop not believing that this could come true, because it's obviously here, and the eclipse was like meant to help you release more of, like, help you see it more clearly, but also then help you release whatever it is you're holding on to from the past, or from the past, that you, or just an old way of being in relationship, or belief that you have that you can't have this, or whatever. They're telling me to shut up. I'm over explaining myself. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like your own reading, you can email me, empoweringyouраuthenticity@gmail.com, or follow me on Instagram. I'm posting it on Instagram too for the time being, but it is also for YouTube mostly. But DM me on Instagram, Empowering Authenticity, if you're not following me already. And yeah, you can book your own reading, 30 minutes or 60 minutes. I have the information below. Yeah, I hope this resonated, and let me know if it did. Like, let me know how it did. I would really love to hear from people, because this was pretty intense for me. So, all right, guys,